All right, what's up, guys? It's been a minute. Life's been pretty busy and crazy, but since the last stream, we have some updates to go over. I'm gonna first give just a quick little elevator pitch that I've been working on for actually a meeting that's in like less than an hour. So I'll run you guys through that, and then we're gonna do advanced custom field integration today. I've been using it on custom projects built off of Bonsai, but I was kind of waiting to integrate this into Bonsai until I knew it was ready, until I knew it was time. And I think we're getting pretty close now. As far as the big updates go, I'll cover that right before we start getting into things. But yeah, today we're going to be working on making it so the theme is customizable, even if you don't know how to code, which is a pretty big deal. Here goes the elevator pitch. So your community is the lifeblood of your company. And the issue is that when you're renting your community from a platform, you're only renting it, you can't own it. And I hate that. Okay. It's a good thing I'm practicing. Let's go again. I haven't practiced this for a while, so I'm just jumping straight in. So your community is the lifeblood of your company. And as long as you're using another platform, you're only renting them. So if you get deplatformed, there goes your entire business overnight. And we see this happen all the time. In the future, there will be established communities that are decentralized, and they will have the opportunity to maintain their own open source software. That could be algorithms, that could be features that the community will define, or even on the individual user level. It's a little slow and boring. Could speed things up. That's pretty much it. I'm trying to keep it real short and sweet. Right now, that's not something that Patreon or OnlyFans or Teachable or GoFundMe could offer you, is ownership over your community and your platform, your business. Right now, we're going to be focusing on Patreon only. Once we can master Patreon, OnlyFans type of functionality, then it would expand into whatever the community decides, basically. So that's the quick little elevator pitch. I could smooth it over a little bit more. The thing that I've been thinking about a lot lately, I actually met with this dude in the Future Pro group. His name's Trevor Greenleaf, and he got me thinking about things a lot. Of the story, which I have there, but I really need to find a way to share that story quickly in the messaging of the website or doing elevator pitches. And to me, that story is just people being deplatformed. Like, there's a pretty clear issue with it on pretty much every big platform right now. And so Bonsai is the solution to that. I believe that every big community should be run off of open source software, because that is decentralization. It's not like the sexy decentralization that everyone's talking about on the blockchain necessarily, but open source software, as defined on Wikipedia, is decentralized software development. So, with that being said, let's start jumping into some stuff. I don't have too long, probably about 30-40 minutes. All right, let's just dive into this as quickly as possible. I'm gonna boot up the website. This process is outlined in a ton of other videos, what I'm doing right now. So I'm just gonna breeze over this. This is booting up the virtual machine. Here I'm inside of my scripts directory where I run the custom scripts. And this will be the local environment. So actually this will go a lot faster than if I was just doing it from scratch. One, because I've done it so many times with other custom versions of Bonsai. Two, one that I just did custom the other day, I believe I can just copy most of that work. So it should go pretty quick. One thing I am curious about is, let's see, does ACF have a command line interface? Manage advanced custom fields groups in WP-CLI. Go to WordPress directory in your terminal and run WP-ACF to see that everything's working correctly. Huh. Okay, I will definitely be looking into this in the future. Since we're on a live stream, I don't think it'd be that much faster for me to figure this out and then write up a script for it as we're live. But if I integrate this down the road, there probably will just be a script you can run to get all these custom field groups built. And you'll see what I'm talking about. If you're not familiar with ACF, you can just follow along. It's not anything super complicated. All right. Before I start doing this, I do want to do one thing real quick. Let's pull up the code. I want to make these little boxes go below the big boxes. I think it makes a lot more sense because the 3 tiers is the main part of the product, and then if somebody had a pro plan, they can have 2 additional ones that are tiers or products. And yeah, I think it just makes things cleaner, more sense if it's below. So let's go do that real quick. We're gonna go into our project, web app, themes, Bonsai, resources, views, partials, pricing. And this is we can take the whole row of Bonsai University and starter plan. And we'll put it below this other row. once that's good, I think we'll just take the PB4 and change it to a PT4. Give it some nice spacing. So yeah, this guy, Trevor Greenleaf that I mentioned earlier, that was kind of giving me some tips. We did a podcast. I'll be publishing that pretty soon here on this channel. And if you're into coding or building products, you probably like that conversation. We went pretty deep into it, and him giving me feedback. So I'm gonna be implementing that a lot over the next couple of weeks, but for now, we're gonna focus on getting this customizable with ACF. So, how do we do that? I'm gonna pull up this other project that I've been working on. And this is the pricing, same as this one. So you'll notice the difference is everything's hard coded into it currently. And that's been because it's easier for me to just change it through hard code. But if you don't know how to code, or if you don't like using code, then there's a cleaner way to do it. And we're going to store all of this information on the database. So instead of being stored in the theme and hard coded, it'll be accessible from either the WordPress backend, or eventually it will be accessible from the front end, so you won't even have to touch the WordPress backend. That will probably be done a little bit later. It's not that hard, but let's just focus on getting it editable first, stored in the database, and then that is going to unlock the ability for us to use a singular theme between every project. So that would allow this project to be scalable. That's major, because then we can maintain one theme that is the exact same and make sure that that's consistent across every customer, instead of having each theme completely customized differently. That would make it a updating nightmare. So this will be the first step in that. We're gonna just start hacking away. We can start with the pricing. That's the main part. I guess there was also the hero. But yeah, let's start with pricing. So right where this says basic plan, we're gonna grab a little bit of PHP. That's the H3, right? Yep, so this is tier 1 name. So whatever we call this tier 1 name is going to be its name. It's not going to be hard coded to be basic plan anymore. And then what we need to do is come into log into our local site. And before I start making any changes on the database, why am I being so slow? I'm actually going to come into my scripts directory, and I'm going to pull from production. Oops. I'm going to run sync.sh. We're going to pull from production to development. And we will reset the local with the production site, yes. I hope we don't run into too many bugs today. I've done some updating on Ansible and PHP and Python, which can be problematic sometimes. Sometimes it makes you want to pull out your hair and cry. All right, the database is updated. Now we're just going to log in so we can access ACF through a GUI interface. Because like I was saying, we could do it through the command line, but I haven't really messed with that yet, so maybe we'll do that in the future. For now, we'll keep things simple. My local environment's running a little bit slow. We do need to upgrade to WordPress 5.9.3. Well, let's stay focused for now. So this is the plugin, Advanced Custom Fields Pro. It's already activated, so you see custom fields right here. Just going to go into that. And you don't have to have Pro. Everything I'm going to do today is also on the free version. It looks like that needs an update as well. And I don't want to start, I don't think there's any legacy code baked in there, but yeah, it'll be fine. I'll update the plugins later. That's kind of a different thing. I'm going to go field groups, add new. And you can group these however you like. This is how I'm doing it for Bonsai. You have a pricing one, and this will control all of the different pricing customizations. So we might want to reference the code. Tier 1 name. Keep an eye on this field name right here. This can be custom. It doesn't have to be the exact same, but in most cases you want it to be the same unless you need to shorten it or something like that. Leaving this text, keep it simple. Default value will be basic plan, because that's what we just replaced with this PHP. So that'll be by default, and then you can change it from there. And now we just go to town. So let's focus on getting all the PHP placed first. No, because we want to be able to copy some of this out. Just trying to think of the smoothest process for this. We'll do okay, so then we'll just follow this. So we have tier 1 badge. And the default value is custom and shared hosting. Next up, we have tier 1 list. Default value. We're going to grab this entire list, including the UL, not just the list items. But then people would be able to change that into an ordered list if they wanted to, or whatever. All right, we're gonna just grab the list items actually. And this needs to be a text area. Now you can drop HTML in here. That's not ideal. We're gonna clean that up eventually. And the best way to probably clean that up would be to add these li tags as you can append and prepend, so you can bake it into here. But we'll get there later. As long as there's a little bit of HTML, I don't think it's gonna confuse anyone too bad. Everyone knows how to do MySpace, right? Okay, Now we go to tier 1 price. Text area, default value, 250. And we have tier 1 annual price. Which is $900 Matic tokens. So that should do it for tier 1. Now let's take a look at how this works. So we're going to hit publish. Now we will set one last thing. We need to set this to page. So show this field group if this post type is equal to page. Just some conditional logic. You could set it to posts or pages, whatever you want. I am going to be using this on pages only for now. All right, now we will come into pages. Now let's break down this PHP real quick. So there's a way we could clean this up a little bit. It's already pretty clean because it's using Blade, so I'm okay with it. But we're having issues with this part right here. So this number is the ID of the page that it's grabbing the field group from. So if I removed this like that, it would actually grab it from that specific page. So if you had this component on any page, it would grab that field group from that specific page. If I have this comma and 2 here, then it's going to be grabbing it from a specific page, which in this case, home page is ID 2. We come in here, and now these fields should show up on this page. There they are. So the default values are already filled out. I just need to hit update. And now for the last step, we will grab tier 1 badge, put that in here. We will replace this list with tier 1 list. We will replace the price with this, and the annual plan with this. Now if I hit save, it'll probably go blank for a second. And then you make sure that this is updated, the page itself. Refresh this, and that data should show back up. And because I'm not streaming from a dedicated PC, my MacBook's running a little bit slow with this virtual environment. Come on, baby. All right, it's back. So that worked. So, luckily, I have already done all of that PHP. So I'm just going to take this whole page from this other project I was working on. And I should just be able to paste it. I also did a couple other things up here where if you're a guest, let's see. Yeah, if you're a guest, it gives you instructions to select a membership or a subscriber. If you're signed up, then it doesn't. And then in here, if you were part of that tier, then it would show you a subscribed badge so you could see which tier you were subscribed to. I'm still working on a couple things with that, but for now, copy pasting that saved me a lot of time. You'll see it just goes tier 2 name, tier 2 badge, tier 2 list, tier 2 price, tier 2 annual price, and so on. These two blocks down here are a little bit different in order and stuff, but that's the gist of it. So now the hard part is coming in here and doing that for all of the tiers. And that's why it'd be nice to do it in the command line interface, because you could batch build these groups out a lot faster. I'm not ready to take that step right now because I have a meeting in 30 minutes, so let's just see how far we can get through this in the next, say 15 minutes or so. You can duplicate these, but maybe I would do that if I were doing these really custom in-depth ones, but since I'm leaving most of these alone, it only requires a couple things to fill out. It's actually faster to not duplicate them. So we have tier 2 name, which is Pro Plan. Tier 2 badge, which I believe is, I guess I can look at the page itself. Custom domain and dedicated hosting. Can I copy that? There we go. Yeah, all these other fields are a lot more in depth. I don't think they're really needed at this point, but it's pretty cool what you can do with them. Okay, so we got tier 2 badge, we need tier 2 list, text area, and actually I will want to come back to the original for this so I can grab this. On the instructions, there we go. Tier 2 price, $500. Tier 2 annual price is, how much is it? 1200, 1800 medic. actually, I want to copy that from here. Okay, we're just going to go through all of these because we can't really test it with only half of them, can we? Well, I need to grab these from this, so let's keep trucking away at this. Tier 3. Tier 3 name. Sensei plan. Tier 3 badge. Now this one's just unlimited. Everything. Tier 3 list. Text area. Tier 3 price, $750. Tier 3 annual price, $700 Matic. Save that. Okay, so we have 2 more, and these ones are a bit different. So we have tier 4 name, tier 4 description, tier 4 price, tier 4 list. Bonsai University. Tier 4 description. Create your own Bonsai website. Tier 4 price. What the? What's that about? There we go. And the price is 15, right? Currently. Tier 4 list. Price list, yeah. Tier 4 list. There we go. Placeholder. This is a text area. And then we need this list right here. Tier 4 list. Tier 5 name. Starter plan. Yep. Tier 5 description. Tier 5 price. Is it 50 a month, I think? Yeah. And then tier 5 list. This is the last one. Text area. Now I'm just going to check the spelling real quick. Copy this over. Now the one thing, let's see. Yeah, these lists, I did a little differently here. So I think I need to do, here, let's select all of them. And we want to put them inside of a UL with a class of MB0. That way it's only the list items inside of those. That should work, I hope. Let's save that. And then now that this is updated, we need to refresh the page itself. And it should all show up in here. Then we can save it, deploy it. I've got 18 minutes till I need to leave. Tier 1 and impressed. Tier 4 plan, match. List. So if we did everything correctly, this should all not need any changes. Hit update. Sure if it's refreshed or not, but it should work. And yeah, then after that I just go through and I do the same thing for this, the answer, all of these questions and answers. That's not controlled through here. Those are controlled through the pages, which would also be the same for up here in the nav, but I do it for here. And eventually this whole site is pretty much going to be, I mean, a lot of this is hard coded with the courses right now and stuff, and that'll all be the same way. It's gonna be pretty dope. Is it still working on refreshing? Man. All right, well, pretty sure I did it correctly. Yeah. If there's anything, it's small, but that's how it's done. And I don't want to wait for this to stop being slow because I've got a meeting coming up. So I am going to cut the stream, then deploy it because I want these changes on the site by the time I've done the meeting. So I gotta cut it. That is the basics of how to integrate advanced custom fields with your WordPress site or with Bonsai. So stay cool, my babies. Hopefully it's not too long until I'm back on here. But we're gonna get rolling with this stuff, so I'll see you soon.